Warning. The following show may decrease your intelligence. Changing the channel is advised.
Zero variety. Less music. More talking. Weird noises. The show your parents warned you about. This is the Blair Radio Project.
Float a little closer, Billy. You're too far away. Hello, and welcome to the Blair Radio Project. I'm your host, Blair, and I'm joined by none other than my trusty sound engineer, Billy. Billy, how's the scab-picking business going?
It's dried up.
Good one.
See what I did there?
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, we're no longer broadcasting to you live from under the Jeffney Campbell Bridge, but instead, we're back in our lovely studio here at the station. Now, for those of you that were bored enough to listen to the previous episodes, Billy offered me £200,000 to live under a bridge.
You're gonna mention that the studio is...
Getting to that, Billy. I'm getting to it. One thing at a time. But first, let's focus on your failures, okay?
Why are you even explaining this to them?
For any new listeners that might be tuning in.
Blair, this is like episode 100 and something.
Episode 103 to be exact.
Exactly. Anyone listening to this, if in fact anyone is, will already know what's happened. Like you said, this is episode 103.
I did say that, yeah.
Yes, like you said. No one's just gonna randomly tune into this. Anyone who's listening is only here because this show's like watching a train wreck. They can't look away.
This is a radio show, though.
Okay, then they can't listen away.
Listen away?
You know what I mean.
Good point. All right, well, yes, we're not at the bridge anymore because there's no point. Billy spent all his monies on useless garbage. Isn't that right, Billy?
I wouldn't call it all useless.
I would. Who really needs to own Mount Fuji?
I thought it looked cool.
What would you do with it anyway?
Uh-huh.
Or that hot air balloon that was in the shape of a pig?
Hey, I bought that to commemorate the memory of Milk Ears.
To commemorate him?
Yeah.
You don't even know what that word means.
Neither do you.
So, I'm not the one using it. The point is, it was a waste of money. It all was. You wasted it, and now you're poor and miserable again, just like the rest of us. Just how much debt are you in, Billy?
Well, I might be able to pay it all off if I work a minimum wage job non-stop for the next 1,322 years.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
That's not too bad. I have to work about 500 more years to pay off my debts.
Nice.
No, it's depressing. But you know what isn't depressing, Billy?
No.
This show.
It's not true.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. Never mind. Oh, well, kicking things off, this is Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. And you're listening...
Are you going to mention that the studio's...
In a bit, Billy, in a bit. We have to pad out the show, remember?
Good point.
Yeah. Anyway, this is...
Blair Radio Project.
All right, audience, welcome back to the show. Now, some of you might remember from the previous episode, Billy mentioned that he had a new indoor pool installed at the station. Several pools, actually. In fact, there's a pool now on each floor of the building.
And a roof.
Yes, and roof. So, for those of you wondering how that's even possible, each floor of the building was fitted with pool cement and tiles and...
I think it's just regular cement and tiles.
Well, it can't be regular cement because regular cement just absorbs water, doesn't it? Buildings are already made out of regular cement.
I don't know.
But maybe you should keep your mouth shut! Where was I?
Pool cement.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Billy. So yeah, each floor is basically half a pool.
The bottom half.
Well, obviously the bottom half, Billy. The water isn't floating at the top half of each floor.
I'm just painting a picture for the audience.
You're not painting. You're just floating there.
It's not what I meant. Forget it.
So yes, audience, the studio is now a pool.
We really shouldn't even be in here. All the electrical wires and water.
So why did you have pools built in here if it wasn't safe?
Because I was disgustingly rich. Safety didn't matter to me.
And does it now?
Yes, because it actually affects me now.
Don't worry, Billy. All our equipment is okay. See? The computer is balancing safely on that big inflatable toy that looks like a whale.
Yeah, but the power cords that lead from the equipment are plugged into the electrical sockets, which are underwater.
Look, Billy, they wouldn't install electrical sockets in the pool if it wasn't safe, okay?
I suppose you're right.
Of course I'm right. I'm me. Gosh. Anyway, moving on. This is Numb by Linkin Park.
You're listening to the Blair Radio Project.
No, Billy. Look, I don't care what the internet says. There's no way Osama bin Laden had the movie Cars on his hard drive, okay? Why would he even have that?
We're back on the air.
Oh, hello, audience. Welcome back to the show. That last track was More Than You Know by Blink-182. And prior to that was Played the Greatest Hits by Wolf Alice. Billy, what's that noise?
Not sure, but it's coming from the electrical outlet.
The one that's underwater? That has all our equipment plugged into it?
Yes, that's the one.
I see. Maybe you should float over here to this corner of the room. Or pool.
I was actually thinking that we should probably get out of this room. Or a pool.
Well, Billy, let's not get drastic here. We're in the middle of a show. And besides, it's just a little bit of electrical current. If we're on the other side of the room, it can't hurt us. Electricity doesn't travel through water.
I'm pretty sure that it does.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it doesn't. So let's just float over here, okay? What are those floaty things on your arms?
They're floaties.
Floaties?
Yeah, they help you float.
Oh, I thought they were like blood pressure things.
What?
You know, the blood pressure things. Like the one the doctor puts on your arm, and then they tighten it so it squeezes your arm, and then they look at you and ask, how are you still alive?
I've never had a blood pressure test.
You'll have to give it a go sometime.
Make a note of that.
So these floaties, they help you float because you're too lazy to swim?
No, it's because I can't swim.
You never learned how to swim?
No.
So, if I were to pop those with a pen, you'd drown?
Probably.
Interesting. I'll have to make a note of that.
There's a lot of note-taking going on today.
Indeed. Darn.
What?
Trying to make a note of this on the notepad, but the pencil just goes through the paper.
Because the paper's wet?
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, well, I'll just have to remember it.
Remember what?
I can't remember. Oh well. Moving on, this is 1985 by Bowling for Soup. And you're listening to the Blair Radio Project.
Marco!
Pollo.
Marco!
Pollo.
It's Polo, not Pollo.
Who cares? Hello, audience. Welcome back to the show. Billy and I were just playing a quick game of Marco Pollo.
Marco Polo, not Pollo.
Potato, tomato.
Have I not found you yet? Still in the pool, right?
Of course I am, Billy. You're just not very good at this game. That last song was
Marco!
Pollo. That last song was Chaise Long by
Marco!
Pollo by Wet Leg.
Blair, the water's starting to get warm. I think that maybe
I didn't pee in it.
I didn't accuse you of doing that.
Okay, good. Because it wasn't me.
All right? No, I wasn't thinking that at all. No, I was gonna say that I think that maybe the sparks from the electrical outlet it might be warming up the water.
What gives you that idea?
Because I could see that the electrical outlet is sparking and starting to bubble.
Billy, I'm sure it's fine, okay?
Hey, you're cheating! You're not in the water at all! You've cellophaned yourself to the ceiling! No wonder I couldn't find you!
What are you doing peeking, Billy? Huh?
I was looking at the sparks coming from the electrical
You're
outlet.
such a cheater, Billy. I can't believe you would peek while playing. I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't want to play with a filthy cheater like you.
Whatever.
An elaborate attempt to talk to Lindsay Lohan. This is the Blair Radio Project.
It's like clockwork.
Hello, audience. Welcome back to the show. You know, Billy, I can't...
Yes,
Yes, what?
I know him.
What?
He's me.
Billy, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm Billy.
Yes?
That's me.
Are you having a stroke?
You asked me if I know Billy.
Of
Of course I do. That's me.
Okay. Billy, I can't help but notice that ever since these pools were installed,
On each floor.
yes, on each floor, I couldn't help but notice that there are far more cracks in the walls of the building now. That and the building is making far more noises than it used to. Almost like the building is struggling to stay up from all this extra water weight.
Well, when I hired the pool people to install all the pools, they said they strengthened the foundation and the building structure to accommodate for the extra weight.
Oh yeah? How do they do that?
Well, they tied a bunch of rope around the building, and then they dumped a bunch of extra cement around the outside.
On the outside? On the outside?
What?
Never mind. Well, that makes sense. I was wondering why the ground floor entrance was now buried under concrete. I actually had to climb through a window on the second floor in order to get into the building, but I didn't really think much of it. Well, as long as they took the precautions needed. Hello, audience. Welcome back to the show. Billy, is it just me or is the water rising?
Well, considering that there's water trickling down from the ceiling and down the sides of the walls, it only makes sense.
I suppose. Well, audience, I want to thank you all so much for listening to the show this week. I greatly appreciate it. Really, I do. And I hope you'll join us here next week on the Blair Radio Project. Thank you all so much. What was that?
Chunk of the ceiling just collapsed.
I see.
If you saw, then why did you ask?
Well, I didn't actually see it happen, Billy. I'm just saying. I see, as in, I understand.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But Billy, we should probably evacuate the building.
Yes, I too was thinking that. Might be wise.
Yes, I think so. We should probably tell Mr. Stevens first, so he can notify the others. Wait, how do I even get upstairs to his office? Are the stairs pools as well?
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, audience, thank you all so much for listening. And until next week, I've been your host, Blair. That little child has been Billy.
Hey, you.
And until next week, this has been Blair Radio Project. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.